What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be checking out Zayn on Hot Wings. I've checked out some videos with Zayn and I've given my analysis on him in the past. Really like him, really like his style. I feel like he's just gotten much more comfortable with himself as of recent, and it's great to see. Now, I want to give a shout out to my OG subscribers, and I want to say that right now because I know a lot of my original fans are One Direction fans. So all the feedback I've gotten, all the subs, the comments, everything, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And guys, before we start our video on Zayn today, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online platform that matches you with a licensed professional therapist. Now, me personally, I've been doing therapy for a number of years and absolutely love it. It has helped me have a much better understanding of who I am. It's helped me become aware of my own negative thought patterns and given me the tools to help get out of those negative thought patterns so I can live life in a much more productive and positive way. It's also helped me identify some of my more debilitating core beliefs about myself and given me tools to change those core beliefs so I can, again, live a much happier, much more productive, stress-free life. So I can't say enough amazing things about therapy. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen to you and give you helpful, unbiased advice. So first, what you'll do is go to their website at www.betterhelp.com. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/maxbeaumont. You'll answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with an experienced licensed therapist helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do this all by your phone or your computer, whatever your comfort level is at. I personally recommend doing the video call option. I feel like you get the most out of that, but you can also do a voice call or messaging as well. Typically, you'll be matched with a therapist within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Visit betterhelp.com/maxbeaumont during sign up to enjoy your first month at a discounted rate. All right, thanks guys. Now on to the video today.
How, if at all, has your retreat to a more quiet and simple life on a farm in Pennsylvania shaped your sound?
Life in general just, can influence your writing process. You have to go through things to have something to talk about. So yeah, it definitely has took on the surrounding area of Pennsylvania. It's got that feel, it's got the chill, introspective, kind of conscious thing going on.
Kind of just feels like you're hanging out with a friend with Zayn. Sometimes when you watch these shows, it feels like, okay, like we're getting entertained right now. There's an entertainer that we're watching. And obviously, Zayn entertains people with his music, but he's not trying to put on a performance in any way, right? And that's part of what I was saying before when Zayn kind of just feels more comfortable in his own skin these days. I just think that when you realize that you don't have to be anyone else but yourself, it just becomes a lot easier to live. It becomes a lot easier to be. And when you take the pressure off yourself to have to put on a certain act, you have to be a certain way, it requires a lot of energy. So all this to say, it feels like you're just kind of hanging out with a friend here as opposed to hanging out with someone or watching someone who's like putting on a performance.
So I'm always intrigued by songwriters who use poetry as an entry point to crafting lyrics. What impact does composing that way have on the final product?
You could start with a melody idea, a basic line from an instrument, some keys maybe, or you can have something completely like just written as a piece of poetry, like you said. I think you need one to do the other and one to do the other.
And I noticed that he does that a little bit. Sometimes you'll see at the end there, he kind of looks away.
One to do the other and one to do the other.
As sort of like a way to gain comfort with something in the environment, because it's almost like when the spotlight's on him too long, he gets a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think he thrives in that environment as a lot of other celebrities and artists do. And the beautiful thing about Zayn is it's kind of obvious in a way. Like you can tell he doesn't really love it. And I think that makes him all that much more relatable and endearing in a way. And he's taking the question seriously. You can even see the way he's listening. Like he wants to understand what Sean is saying.
Who use poetry as an entry point to crafting lyrics.
Like it's not just vapid, kind of shallow, quasi-listening. Like he's really trying to take it in, and he's taking his words seriously because he wants to give a thorough response. So that's nice to see as well.
Can definitely taste the chili on that one straight away. Still not too bad. It's actually tasty chicken when I eat this.
You know, I think this might be my favorite sauce in the line.
Yeah, I think this one's nice. It's got a nice flavor to
Yeah,
it.
it does. But a little heat. A little bit of a
feel it.
I see myself hanging out with Zayn. I'd see myself just loving to hang out with Zayn because I just feel like it would be easy. You know, he's one of those guys you just feel like you don't have to be a certain way at all to be around him. He's just chill, easy to be with, easy to talk to, and I personally love being around people like that. Right? I don't need to be around someone who's like entertaining necessarily, and not to say he's not. I know he's got a lot of different sides to him, and I know he's got a great sense of humor. But I'm just saying, it just seems easy to be around, you know?
So as we mentioned, years ago, you moved to Pennsylvania to seek a life of simplicity. In what ways do you find gardening most rewarding? And what would you say has so far been your greatest gardening achievement?
My biggest achievement, growing stuff.
Sean Evans is good, huh? Because he's a very knowledgeable host and he'll drop pretty specific facts on the person that he's interviewing, which I think is a good quality for an interviewer. I think sometimes the more specific you can be in the knowledge that you have for someone, the more that guest kind of feels appreciated. It's like, oh, this person took the time to get to know me.
Do you have a favorite plant?
A favorite plant? Yes, I do have a favorite plant, but I don't know if that's appropriate for. But I love growing chili plants though.
Oh, you're growing chilies?
Yeah, I do grow chilies.
How's that been going?
I've been growing a lot of Scotch bonnets and a lot of Carolina Reapers.
What?
That's cool, man. He's just kind of living this like very almost just simple life, it feels like, out in remote rural Pennsylvania, you know? So that's cool. I'm happy for him that he found a place where he's comfortable just enjoying the simple things here. That's awesome. And you know, you can see with him, just from a communication perspective, he does have some soothing practices that he does when he's in front of the camera or he's speaking with someone. Right? You kind of see his leg going up and down.
This one's nice, it's got a nice flavor to it.
Yeah, it does.
You know, sometimes he'll look to his environment to seek some sort of comfort and relief from the conversation or the spotlight. So you can see that, you know, there's still a little bit of anxiety there, but he seems to figure out a way to just be okay with it and still engage in a very genuine interaction. I don't think he's like trying to like overly protect it, which is just nice because I think we get to see him. We get to see the real Zayn. And as a result, you know, when we see the real side of someone, we feel more connected to them.
Do you have a Zayn's Kitchen signature dish? And if so, can you tell us how to make it in as much detail as possible?
Signature dish, I guess that's the thing I cook the most. So I actually cook this thing called tandoori chicken quite a lot, which is like a red chicken in spice, and you can do it, you know, different ways.
Like I just like the fact that his answers don't seem rehearsed and he's just searching for the right words. Yeah, I think that's important to him, just to try to come from an honest place. Whether we consciously see that or subconsciously see that, I think that speaks to a lot of people's connection with Zayn. It's like you kind of feel that he's being honest. And I think the reason we feel that is because we can kind of sense that he's searching for the right words to say that feel honest to him. Like his answers don't ever feel really scripted.
And he brought me signed Iron Man comic, Stan Lee signed Iron Man comic, which is a real, you know, amazing thing that I still have on my wall, and yeah, just an amazing thing to tell all your geeky nerdy friends who love comic books. You know, they definitely want that comic book from me.
I think a lot of people probably feel connected to Zayn because of something called the pratfall effect, which essentially says people can become more likable when we see them making mistakes, when we see them kind of messing up. And in this interview, you're kind of seeing that, right? It's not like super edited and cut up. We see the little ums and ahs and somewhat awkward mannerisms at times, self-soothing behaviors from Zayn. We see that, but that just kind of contributes to his likability. And I've mentioned this before on this channel, but there's a famous study that was done with a professor at a university in the United States where they had a professor who went through a lecture perfectly to a group of students, and then they had that same professor go through the exact same lecture but mess up beforehand. He spilt his coffee before starting the lecture on purpose. When the school surveyed the students after, asking what they thought about the professor and how much they liked him, the students who saw him spill his coffee before the lecture reported that they liked him much more. So we actually, a lot of the time, like people more who we see kind of make small mistakes. So that could very well sort of be what's happening here, and why I kind of like how they're not like overly cutting this.
Harry was right next to a pyro, and the pyros was about to go off because they were on timers. He didn't see that the pyro was there, so I just kind of like, you see me like run from one side of the stage and just push him out of the way, and the pyro kind of like explodes in front of his face. That was really dangerous.
Did he just say he saved Harry's life? Did he just sort of low-key, in the most subtle way possible, say that he saved Harry's life? Because it sounds like he may have.
Yeah. That one's hot.
Right. This one never gets easier for me. But in sort of your expression, you are composed.
It's funny how they're now having this conversation just like their mouths on fire. The whole idea of the show is awesome. Like the concept of the show is awesome. So you're getting like real reactions from people when they're eating spicy food. So it brings out a certain realness in these celebrities. You can't really fake how spicy food hits you. So again, you're seeing certain sides to them that you wouldn't normally see. And it's just funny that they're having a conversation, and like at times in the conversation, like they're literally struggling to get the words out because they're battling with the heat. It's really funny, and like I think in a way it's harder to have a filter when your mouth is on fire. You're just trying to get the words out. You know, in a way you can't really like overthink. It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna say it. So I think it actually facilitates a more honest conversation in a way.
I do have to say, Zayn.
Yeah. It's slowly taking me over, I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to keep it together, but that one is really hard.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can let it go because I'm just going to kind of let it go. All right?
Yeah.
From here forward, you're going to see a different Sean from across the table. Okay, Zayn?
All right, you might see a teardrop. I'll just let one go nice and dramatically.
I think Zayn, just after the One Direction days, it almost feels like he's like, fuck all the performative stuff, fuck all the having to be a certain way. I'm just gonna be me, and I'm gonna like make it a point to try to be me, even though sure I am a little uncomfortable at certain times. Like just the way he's even sitting, just his posture. Right? A lot of these guys, when they get media trained, what are they trained to do? They're trained to sit up straight with their shoulders back, smile on their face. So you know, with him, I think he's just kind of chilling. He's kind of like slouched over a little, just like he's hanging out with a friend. Like he's not putting on any airs. You know, he's saying what he wants. He's trying to just come from a genuine place. And it's almost like he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go away with all the performative elements of being in the media. It's almost like he's like, that's just so in the past.
Do you still collect samurai swords?
So, should I say this? I have some samurai swords, yeah. I don't collect them, but I have like 3, yeah.
Is there one that has the most sentimental value?
One of my best friends just got me one recently, and it's really cool. It's like a tempered like blue steel blade.
You know, it's interesting too, right? I feel like Zayn's kind of an open book in a way. I think that's the really cool thing I'm starting to realize about Zayn. Like he seems like he wouldn't be really open because of his disposition. You might think he's a little closed off, but he's very honest with his answers. It seems like he's being very genuine, and most importantly, they feel real. You really feel like when you're in an interview with him, you actually get to know him. Not that he went into like great depth into his life in this interview, but there just seems like a willingness to share. You really feel like you get a glimpse into who he is as a person when you listen to him as of late. I just think that's cool, especially given his disposition, the way he kind of carries himself and his demeanor, where he seems like he might not reveal a lot about himself. And it's kind of obvious that he doesn't like love being in the spotlight. There's a contrast there, which I think is interesting.
The smokiness brings out the flavor, I think, but there's a lot of different seasonings in there too. There's garlic and all kinds of stuff to like make it taste good, onion, salt and stuff like that.
You know what though? The key ingredient in this one? Love.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you feel that. Well, thank you for trying.
Yeah, of course, buddy. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
That was just a nice, sweet, genuine interaction, man. I can see these guys actually being friends and really down-to-earth celebrities. That's nice to see. Again, I just feel like this was a real conversation between 2 real guys. You leave feeling like you got to know someone a little bit better. And I think that's really cool when we kind of get a glimpse into someone's heart. We get a glimpse into someone's like true character. We leave feeling a little different. We leave feeling a little bit more connected to the world. You know what I mean? Wow, really getting deep here. All right.
You got like a natural talent.
Thank you. I like cooking.
Well, that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that too. I hope you enjoyed my reaction and analysis as well. Right now, I'm going to be checking out the song What I Am. And if you're interested in watching my uncut reaction and analysis, plus my reaction to Zayn's new track, What I Am, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Peace.